Hello and welcome to today's session. Today we'll be talking about your optimum population. Now, what is this optimum population? Now, please understand the English meaning of your optimum. Now, optimum is nothing but your what can we say? It's something called as the middle, or it's something called as the balanced. Now, optimum population is nothing but a balanced population. What is this balanced population? It means that your population is balanced with the resource of the resource of the nation. If you have X resource, then your population is also equivalent to X. This is simple. No big definition. Now, let's understand. My handwriting is bit awkward. Please do bear with me. See, optimum population, what it says that a country is said to be in optimum population. I have written it as OP if the number of people are in balance with the available resource. Simple. A country is said to be in optimum population if the number of people are in balance with the available resource. Again, optimal condition, again optimal I have written as O. Optimal condition can be maintained if exploitation of the new resources or the development of other forms of employment keep pace with increasing population. It says that if your population is increasing, then you should also increase your new resources or or other forms of employment so that we can feed the population properly. Next, if the population becomes too large, let's say that your resources is 100 and your population becomes 1000. So what will happen is that the num the what will happen is that each population would have a lesser share of this. But consider this, that your population is 100 and your resources 100, so each person will get one of the resources. But consider this, that the 100 population, when the 1000 population is divided with the 100 resources, so each and every population would have less resources. So basically what he says that if the population becomes too large, then the law of diminishing return will begin to operate. Or instance, up to a certain point, increase in the people on the landmarks increases in the production. See, it says that up to a certain point it's okay, but beyond that, let us understand this. See, up to this point, which I have written it as the optimum population, what will happen? Up to this point, the the population is optimum and there would be the proper balance between the population and the resource. And beyond this, what happens? There is overpopulation. Hence, the output per head that I have written over here, the output per head will obviously fall, but the population is increasing. Next, now once OP has been reached, that is your optimum population has been reached, once your optimum population has been reached, a further increase may increase the production but at a decreasing rate. So output per capita declines as the people becomes dependent on the same resource base. See, basically what happens, again the same thing, that though see, beyond this point what will happen is that though your production might increase, but again the output per head is declining. It's simple. Next, contrary, if there is not enough people. See, this is very important thing. Understand this. Let us explain this with an example. Let us consider a coal mine. We have a coal mine, and to mine this coal we need population, we need people to mine this coal. Let us see, we need 100 people to mine this coal, but we can only find 20 people to mine this coal. So what will happen? The production from this coal mining will go on declining because we do not have such population, we do not have the adequate population to produce. Now this is the case of Brazil. I have written it over here. With 14% may be considered as underdeveloped. See, if you have that, it says that key optimum population, it means that it's a balance, that is a balance between your underpopulation and the balance between your overpopulation. And between the underpopulation and between the overpopulation, this is called your optimum population. It also says that key if there is a decline, in population, that will also not be optimum for the survival or for the growth of the economy. But again, there are certain problems with this theory. What is this theory? Again, this theory is highly theoretical and difficult to attain. Means we cannot say what is this optimum population, at what point will reach this optimum population. Again, it is impossible to measure optimum population. Next, it doesn't take inequality into consideration. What is inequality? See, within this optimal population, it says that your resources would be balanced with your population. But again, what actually happens is that within this population there is a group of rich people who would have more resources when compared to the poor who would have no resources or very little resources. Hence, it does not takes into consideration the inequality that prevails within the population. Next, optimum theory over stresses only on the economic dimension but fails to take the social economic condition into your consideration. Next, again, optimum population does not explains in how to reach the optimum level and maintain it. It simply says that it doesn't explain how to reach the optimum population, number one, or neither does it explains that how to maintain that level for a longer period of time. Now this is the problem with the optimal population. Now if a question comes, please differentiate between the optimum population and the Malthusian theory. Now these are the 4 points that I have taken out on which we can differentiate the Malthusian and the optimum population. See, the optimum population theory is superior to Malthusian theory because it studies population problem in relation to the economic condition of a particular country. It's easily understood because we have taken that population resource base, and with the resource base we have compared with the per capita output. Next, Malthus has a narrow vision. He relates growth of population to the food supply. On the other hand, who is Canaan proposed the optimal population theory. On the other hand, has much a wider outlook. He relates the problem of population to total production of the country, both industrial as well as the agricultural. Next, it's agricultural. Next, the Malthusian's theory is static concept, which applies to the period of time. The optimum theory is a dynamic one because over a period of time the per capita income may rise with the expansion in the output due to the improvement in the knowledge, skills, capital, equipments, and other elements in production. This may raise the optimum level of population. Thus, the optimum theory is more realistic. See, optimum theory says that their population can be low, population can be high, or population can be optimum. And optimum population theory also says that there are different time periods when this occurs, or we can say that this does not that there are different time periods within which there would be a population could be optimum, population could be underpopulation, or population could be overpopulation. But Malthus said one thing only, that population you keep on reproducing and the population would keep on rising. So basically Malthus theory was more static, whereas the optimum population theory was more dynamic. Again, the optimum population theory allies the fear of Malthusian by stressing the fact that increasing population increases the labor force, which helps to reach the optimum expansion of the country's natural resources. Please understand this point. Now, this point, see, basically in the optimum population theory, what we discussed that if there is underpopulation, what will happen? Then what will happen that the resources cannot be extracted within the country, hence development would be down. But Malthus, what did he say? Malthus says that if more population, what will happen? Then your resource base will not sustain it, and as a result of which your resource base will decline, and there will be positive checks. But optimum population theory says that you need to have population, you need to have certain population so that your resources could be exploited. Until and unless your resources are exploited, the nation cannot grow. This was the simple thing that this particular point wants to state. It says that population is overpopulation is not good. It says that underpopulation is not good, but we need an optimum population. Whereas Malthus says that Malthus stresses only one thing, that overpopulation only, and that overpopulation will lead to your disaster. He never talks about what will happen if there is an underpopulation, and what is the amount of population, what is the actual level of population good for a nation. Now all this is being talked by the optimal population theory. Thank you. That will be all.